What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me no more. What is love? Yeah.
Bonjour, how's everybody doing? I hope you're loving these green days. How's the music to voice ratio? I'm going to turn the music down a little bit, but just tell me if it's too much, too little, quite what it is. Got to live life to the fullest? Yeah, mate. I've been scalping a lot today, actually. I've massively overtraded today. But yeah, the reason that I took a little cheeky short is literally like this. So like typically range, breakout, nothing really particularly interesting at the highs. So literally power then a short. We'll see how it reacts here. I'm literally short from like here or something. It's a real like shit entry. I'm not, you know, doing this and fucking going on Twitter and being like, oh my god, I've clipped the top of PEPE. I'm such a fucking, you know, god tier trader, billionaire. Well, even something like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, like, practically in my head, it's actually more like something like this. If it even goes that far, maybe it stops down here, but yeah, that's the very simple rationale on the old PEPE, and I was long from down here somewhere, so time to actually take some profits off the table and see if we attack the downside, just to kind of explain that comment. Yeah, how's everyone doing? I'm hoping everyone's had an absolutely wonderful time trading the last couple of days, because I mean I missed the weekend price action, which was fine because I had a wonderful time with my daughter, and like my wife was away for the weekend, so it was just me and my daughter, and we did all sorts of fun stuff. And you know, I'm not gonna get the time back, so quite happy to miss a lot of the moves, but I did manage to catch this wonderful bad boy on spot. I think we talked about it last week, or maybe even the week before as well. In terms of like, I think we talked about it like for weeks. We talked about the PEPE position for a long time. In terms of you know, high time frame pivot, had spot bids under here with an average of 0.85 ish, so about there. That's my entry. And yeah, we've been talking about it for a while, just in terms of simple downtrend, simple level, all kind of worked out in terms of timing. Yeah, real nice move. I was getting a bit tired of it, to be honest with you, in terms of when the market started recovering a bit. The first one to move was obviously POPCAT, which we also talked about quite a lot, and that's, you know, up basically well over 2x from a couple of days ago, which is, or just under 2x. I thought 2x. Oh yeah, maybe just. Nice tunes, cheers mate. Personal weakness is always hoping for continuation, like to play with sides better. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you know, they say a good trader plays it both ways, which I think's probably the gayest trader saying of all time. Banger entry. So my average entry for that short is 0.0124. But yeah, my entry for the spot long is this. So like, you know, short time frame, like literal, like 5-minute chart, I'm looking for a pullback. But high time frame, I'm in a spot position. And this is what, you know, a lot of people say things like, oh, you're bullish, you're bearish, and it's like, I'm often bullish and bearish at the same time, just on different time frames. You know, I shorted the highs up here at 72, which I'm going to dine out on forever. I de-risked a ton of stuff. Where was it? Up here? There? Yeah. You know, I sat very comfortably for whatever that is, a month and a half, in a downtrending market while everyone was losing their fucking mind. I was quite frankly just chilling. I'm waiting for the good times to roll again. And you know, here they are. We talked about it last stream in terms of triggers for a long, which is basically a reclaim of 61k. I explained that, you know, I didn't personally take it because I was AFK all weekend. But, you know, fucking very simple level to level range reclaim play. Talked about it fuck tons. And that, at that point, you kind of have to go risk on again, as long as obviously Spaghetti is showing you the way. And look what it's done. Absolutely wild. Completely ripped. You know, it is a meme market. That's the other thing. We've been talking about meme coins for weeks. It's basically all I fucking focus on. We got POPCAT, got MYRO, we got PEPE, we got Whiff, we got Floki. Like, why people are longing anything else other than for liquidity reasons, right? Totally get it. If you're trading $10 million size, you probably don't want to get slipped 10% on like some shitty altcoin books. But yeah. POPCAT spot buy my outro moves to CT. Yeah, mate. Yeah. I think if you bought spot on POPCAT, to be honest, I was debating it and I just absolutely pussied out. I was looking at it up here in terms of this. We were going through it in my Paragon stream on Thursday. So I think we were here. What the fuck is this song? Alright. This is just a remix, by the way. I didn't pick this song specifically targeting any of you. Oh, Christ. But yeah, I was talking about this rotation here, and I was basically saying that, like, oh, I really want to get in on POPCAT. Maybe it was... Let's go a bit further. What time was it? It would have been here. So it was trying to get on the next leg of POPCAT, and it was following this kind of meme diagonal line in terms of like the demand is there. You know, that was it. That was the meme line I drew. I was like, look, we want to see some low time frame strength. We want that rotation. If we took that trade, it would have got stopped out, but we didn't get that relative strength to signal like an entry. But this was like my thought process, and obviously it then happened when I was there. Okay, perfect. But yeah. Having stuff that you are looking out for, and then when Spaghetti confirms it, absolutely crucial to my personal trading style. You went all in on POPCAT from 30 million market cap. Holy shit, mate. Nice. I don't even know where it's at in terms of market cap at the moment. Let's have a look. I imagine it's reasonably high, but I've got no idea. Oh, fuck me, it's 800 million market cap. Okay. I mean, market cap means fuck all, right? It's one of the most popular memes, yada yada yada. There you go. But that's pretty insane. Nice trade, mate. It's a good, what, the 30x, I guess? Lovely. That's very good, mate. You should be happy with that. Just, not financial advice, but, one thing that, you know, I will always say to people is, we've been saying it a lot in the Paragon group, which is, you know, sell into strength and don't become a forced seller on the way down. It's not telling you to sell now, it's not telling you to jump, you know, chuck 100% of your position out the window or whatever. But, yeah. I think I always like selling, you know, at specific multiples. So, like, if you hit your 10x, then you take your initial out. If you hit your 20x, you take 10, 20% out, whatever, and just actually have a way to cash out at some point. Otherwise, you know, this might continue going up forever. It might keep going to like $2, $3, $4, whatever. You know, just fucking, you know, nobody knows how high it'll fucking go, right? And it's stupid as shit. But and obviously it gets exponentially better for you in terms of like 10% move up here is actually like a 50% move for you in terms of your original position or whatever. Actually, it's going to be a lot more than that, isn't it? It's going to be like multiple X's, but you get what I mean. So yeah, that would be my only notes. But yeah, POPCAT's been killing it. I think a lot of trade plans that we had were pretty good. Been reasonably risk off during the downtrend. Made the most of PEPE on the run. Had some plans for POPCAT. Wasn't here to execute them. Not how'd you get this chart? Standard question. I just have a bot just posting it every so often. There you go, mate. It's in the chat, I think. Oh, let me post it. Oh yeah, there you go. I posted it twice just for your delay in delectation. But yeah, POPCAT for a good move. We're even getting some nice stuff like, well, let's rephrase that. We've had some really nice moves, but I'm going to just eke on some caution, because you know a lot of charts like Doge, high time frame pivotal level. What was the other one? Bonk, high time frame pivotal level. Like this is where like I'm like, right, these moves have been fucking great. I'm still gonna go for some like alongside trades, apart from obviously my little PEPE short, but like it's not at an area where I particularly want to just yeet a load of money into spot positions, right? And I've seen a lot of takes on Twitter that like, well, this is the time you buy spot, and I'm like, yeah, where's your invalidation? If you're buying up here, like, how do you create an invalidation on that? And the other thing is that, like, we're starting to lose some of that momentum. So if you look over, like, RSI, and I get divergences, right? We've been through the whole playbook on divs 1,000,001 times on the stream. If you don't know it by now, then go back over some of my old videos. I might even put up a little, like, short series. It's not like a clean divergence, right? But you can just see across these highs, you're getting lower highs on the RSI. And it just means that it's starting to cool off a little bit in terms of momentum. So if we get a pullback, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised. And I'm not calling for like a fucking 50% pullback down to 0, right? Just like literally down a little bit. Market structure's intact. Maybe get down to here. Maybe wick down to here, take some of those lows, and then fucking carry on again. Like nothing super extreme, right? If I can hold this short from up here for ages, great. But it's just a hedge for me, right? It's just a literally like, where's a good place to like hedge my exposure? It's literally up here. We tried to break out that range, we failed. Simple as that. Right? Not complicated. But if I round trip this trade, or even take a little loss on it, I don't give a fuck. I'm up reasonably well the last couple of days. More than makes up for it. It's not the way to look at it in the sense of, alright, well I've made a load of money, I'll just fucking throw some back in the market. But the point is, with this, like with my spot position on PEPE, right? I've got a spot position. Where would I hedge it? It's pretty much here. Yeah? It's pretty much as we're starting to lose momentum. And if there's a decent actionable setup around that, great. If it just gets fucking stopped out, fuck it. I've lost a tiny bit that I'm risking just to hedge up a sensible place. Simple. Anyway, let's go to BTC. How many of you caught the BTC move? How many of you bought anywhere down here? Did anyone buy in this region? Anyone? No? I'm guessing not. You short at the bottom. Nice. Cheers, Mars G. Someone's got to do it. Cool, ETH, that's about it. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, ETH is a entered at 58k. I would argue that that's a nicer entry, to be honest. Bought the lows of Bitcoin last year. Nice. I think, like, for me, like, I've said this before, like, 1,000,000 times on stream, so I'm just going to delete all this shit. You will rarely find me doing business down here, right? You would most likely find me doing business somewhere like here, where we've got some form of, you know, high time frame resistance that we've failed to break through, some low time frame shift in kind of market structure, you know, consistent higher lows, and actually here's where I'd quite like to do some business for a breakout trade, and here, to be fair, it's the same principle. Maybe even here. But once you've had the first attempt, second attempt, like third attempt, it's like not super likely. Nothing is guaranteed, right? But yeah, it becomes like increasingly in your favor, in my opinion. Bitcoin is not giving up, is it? Actually, a reasonable reversal. Not gonna lie, stop leverage trading in the most recent chop. Yeah, I think that's a really good. I think that's a really good point, and I think we covered this on the last stream, right? Where, and I've said it to people a few times, which someone actually had a great question. I think it was in the Paragon, which was, would you recommend, like, this was like down here somewhere, maybe it was in like this period here, I think it might have even been like this Thursday here, and it was, do you recommend trading during these conditions, like for someone who's newer and got, you know, a smaller account balance or whatever, and is it worth doing? And my response is always, well, yeah, of course, because like you don't necessarily have to go as hard in terms of your sizing and in terms of your you know, actual risk tolerance. You know, you don't need to go absolutely mental. You can keep it pretty small, pretty minimal. You don't have to just go, right, I'm going to full position size everything, like in a downtrend, going long only, right? But taking a little bit of risk and understanding the process and getting used to whether you're right or wrong, managing the mental side of things, like what do you do as soon as a trade goes offside? Do you just fucking martingale in? Do you panic? Do you not want to sell for a loss? If you started your day with a $10,000 account balance and you're at $9,700, what are you going to do? You're going to close the account? Are you going to close it down for the day and be happy, or are you going to force another trade, or what do you do? What's your, you know, character flaws? Like you can discover all of that during this kind of time, so that when the easier times come, you're kind of prepared for it and you understand and you can feel the difference when it's easy, right? You can just feel it. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but it's a combination of the low time frame relative strength, the follow through and breakout trades, the actual volume in the moves and in the books, more importantly. Like all of those things just combine to give, in my opinion, you know, a much better trading experience, particularly when you're like me, a long biased fundamentally, and you're trading off like spaghetti, which is all about momentum. All about momentum. So, yeah, I think it's worth just clicking. And you can do it with, you know, $1,000 instead of your $10,000 portfolio, whatever that works out to be in relative terms to you. But yeah, I think it's really good that you stepped away from leverage trading during this period in particular. Like, for me, leverage is just a tool to manage your exchange risk. That's it. That's all it is. If I want to trade with $100,000, I can keep $10,000 on the exchange and trade with that at 10x leverage. There's a little bit in there of nuance around what's it called, like margin maintenance fees and all that kind of stuff, so don't, you know, blow your load. But principle is, you know, after FTX and all that kind of stuff, like if people are a bit nervous about depositing on centralized exchanges, you know, massive upside, liquidity, UI, speed, all that kind of stuff. Downside is that there is obviously more counterparty risk. So yeah, that's probably enough rant on exchange risk, isn't it? But yeah, the fact that you stopped leverage trading and that you did it like 30 or 40x or whatever on spot POPCAT probably tells the story in itself, man. You're playing POPCAT on that dip? Yeah, that's nice. A good call. Like, it was very good, and we talked about it quite a lot before. Low time frame shift when I entered. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, that's what I do. Like, you know, I want to see low time frame shifts, and I think one of the worst takes on Twitter, and Adam said it today actually, is that you know, scalping is like for pussies basically, or you know, that kind of ilk. It's like, I get it. I get the notion of like, how do you get rich off a 1 minute chart? And it's like, well, you can make a fucking good living off a 1 minute chart. And yeah, you're not going to get the, you know, billion X returns like putting $1,000 into SHIB in the early days or something like that, right? But you can grow an equity curve pretty fast if you're good and you get conditions like this, right? This actually looks reasonably sandy on BTC, doesn't it? Great music, thank you. People do need to experience both high time frames, low time frames, and then decide which is better for them. Absolutely. It's all relative to your own personal conditions. So if you've got a job that you're, if you're a paramedic or something and you're going around saving lives all day, you're driving, you have like a 12-hour day, it's hyper intense, hyper stressful. Like, how the fuck can you come home and sit at a 1-minute chart for 6 hours, looking at, I don't know, maybe order flow and your AGA loaded and all this kind of stuff? Like, it's not gonna work, is it? Like, and the time investment of doing that is going to be so high compared to just going, do you know what? Like, genuinely a good strategy. And one thing that I've said to, a couple of my friends who are like, it's the classic thing of like, oh, when do I buy Bitcoin? It's like, mate, you fucking buy it when I told you to buy it, like, whenever it was, at like 17k or whenever it was. It was the reclaim down here, 19k, so it was 17k GBP, I think it was at the time. And like most like pleb level traders will just get completely out traded by high time frame EMAs, right? Because like literally it's a fucking massive downtrend. Yeah, you would have taken some dick there and taken a loss, fine, right? It's not much. Here, structurally that's a breakout trade. Structurally that is a breakout trade and a range reclaim. Like, it is much, much, much higher EV there than there. And I can say that, obviously, with the benefit of hindsight. But that, I've got a WhatsApp message, that is when I told people to fucking buy if they want to buy Bitcoin for the long term. So, now my friends are saying, oh, I've got shares in BAE and all this other stuff. Should I sell it to buy Bitcoin? And I just fucking pasted the message that I put back here. I scrolled all the way back here. And I said, this is where you should buy your bunch of cunts. Because I'm lovely like that. But yeah, I completely agree. And like, I'm not saying you've missed the bull run or any bullshit like that. Like, if you want to buy now, fucking buy it here. Stop under there, manage position size accordingly. Like, real fucking simple, yeah? But whatever. I digress. In terms of Bitcoin things, I haven't really covered Bitcoin. But you're completely right in terms of what time frame should people trade on. It's completely down to you, your life circumstances. This is what we talked about last week. Talked about the reclaim, talked about what happened. It did it, it's done. I think if you get that retest down here, again, I think we talked about this last week. I think if you get that retest, it's a pretty solid buying opportunity, but I don't think it's by any means guaranteed. Not that anything is in this market, right? But yeah, sweep these highs. Candle closes like this. Doesn't look particularly wonderful. Maybe we get a little bit of a pullback, as I sort of pointed out on some of the momentum indicators in terms of like lower time frames. Not very clean on the old Ethereum. Like PEPE was pretty clean, right? A lot of people are like either high time frame or low time frame maxis on CT. Yeah, I guess you don't really see many people combine both, do you? I think it's good to combine both though. Like if you want to build your trading experience fast, load up the 1 minute chart, stick $100 in an account, and try and fucking grow it, right? Like that, you'll take hundreds of trades quite quickly. Even the 1 second chart, that's genuinely what I use on Spaghetti. Like see what's diverging from the pack. Like that, as a process, you'll get a lot of trades in a day, and you'll quite quickly work out whether your entry mechanism is working or not, and how you react to certain things, and yeah. Would I be able to chart fat? Yeah, I've already did it. My thought process is pretty simple on fat. like this here is like former all-time highs. I talked about this last stream, I think, which is one of my favorite chart patterns of all time is all-time high. Right, big sell-off, come back, push over that all-time high, retest, generally chops a little bit underneath former all-time high, and then go. And it's just basically former all-time high as resistance. It's literally that simple. But it gives so many good good levels of invalidation. And I talked about PEPE before in terms of like potential AI play, and just the fact that it's basically a massive downtrend, and we're starting to see a bit of what's it called? A bit of consolidation and ranging. I actually drew this squiggle on Monday as part of my outlook for the group, and had an alert here, and it basically never got. Well, it got tagged, but it didn't pull back into it. Is the point? Yeah, it's up quite a lot, and you know, it looks good for continuation, as most of the market does at the moment, right? It's all just ripping. I mean, arguably, it's probably like if you stick some VWAPs on it. Let's see if I've got. It's not gonna work, is it? It's the old one. How's this doing? Bearish at the bottom. Perfect. What I was trying to illustrate is if you put a VWAP on it, it's probably going to look something like this. I've probably just covered it. Let's... Yeah, monthly, looking good. Let's do like, what should we do? 6 months. Yeah, of course, because it's July. RIP. But, we'll go yearly then. Sorry, this is like watching a fucking nan. No, I'm still on the yearly. Yeah, of course it is. I guess my point was that, oh, I just invalidated my point by actually loading it up. But yeah, I mean, I think structurally it looks pretty good. We've had a strong, relentless sell-off on altcoins. Like, it's down 70% from the highs, right? That's pretty impressive in terms of a pullback. Even if this is just a mean reversion bounce, like, I expect it to last a little bit longer than this. The difficulty is always, you know, when do you get out if you're wrong? So you're starting to get like a little divergence in terms of momentum across the highs here. It's actually much cleaner on PEPE than it is anything else. And it's obviously not on here, is it, in terms of relative strength, but yeah, if the market continues and, you know, Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, or we just get a little pullback or something like that, that you know, a lot of these alts are just going to keep running. And if we can, you know, this for me was always the signal to get risk on again, you know, clearing back that 60, 6180 ish, and just reclaiming that range. I'm sorry, you might have already said, but do you have any specific video on how you get the spaghetti chart and how to use it? Yes, I do. I have it on my YouTube channel, which you're currently watching. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. Obviously, I'll just take this opportunity to say like, subscribe, blah blah blah, do all that stuff. Hit like, yeah, all that jazz. There's the video. It's very old, and I did say I'd record a new one, but it gives you like an indication of it all, and then that's the trading view thing. Look at Maker. Yeah, I've seen Maker a couple of times actually. I've seen a few people talk about Maker. I'll have to talk about it. Yeah, it's very strong, isn't it? I don't really understand the like DeFi narrative around Maker, So don't look to me for that. And I've got no position or affiliation or anything like that. Like I just, yeah, it's typically one of those coins that it's run a few times and I've just completely missed it. Again, like for me personally, like if you're in a position, great. Much like the rest of the market, like it's diverging across all these highs. Like looks like it's gonna start pulling back sometime soon, right? But you know, worst case it comes down to here, and that's kind of a bloody good place to long in terms of its very high time frame resistance, or that resistance turn support, right? Very clean. Like even if you cast it back over here, it's pretty decent. Do you ascribe to the 14 candle RSI rule? Is the rule the same for AO? So it's two questions. First question is, do I subscribe to the rule? Yes, in the sense of it's not really something that you can debate, right? Like this point in the RSI here is covering the last 14 candles. This point is the last 14 candles, right? But if you're asking whether you need it to confirm within the 14 candles and have that divergence, then yes. But that doesn't mean that if you get something that looks like this, and it's over, 21 candles or whatever, that's still telling you something. It's far less clean than, that, which is within the 14 candle rule. Yeah? Far less clean. But triple divergences happen often. Well, not often, they happen. And they're actionable as well. And sometimes they're even kind of not more actionable, but sometimes they're even better. I'll give you an example of that triple divergence because I used it to sell along, but I didn't use it to flip short, and it would have been almost as great as my whiff short. It was across here, maybe it wasn't the 4 hour. Oh, maybe it is, yeah. So this, I posted this in the Paragon group, and I didn't fucking take it because I'm a pussy hole. But this here, if you ignore the shitty white, I'm gonna make it bigger just because I want to kind of make the point, right? Like there, each one of those higher, each one of these much lower. So is it a divergence in the extreme? That is, and it played out, but then ran again. This, is still a kind of actionable divergence, even though it's not within that 14 candle window. So, do I ascribe to it? They're definitely better if they're in the extremes, but you also have to take into account, like, why is it in the extreme in the first place? If you're trying to short the number one asset out there, and it's in the extreme, you might not have a great time. You have to be pretty careful with that, right? And that's the constant, like, conundrum of it's in here for a reason, but a divergence is a divergence, doesn't matter, right? That's quite a detailed explanation, I think. Well, I'm the Scat Man. What a tune. These are absolute bangers tonight. So, to give you like the textbook answer, Fervor, if you were being like a solely 100% disciplined, systematic trader, you would just use the 14 candles and you would just trade off the extremes, right? So it has to be above 70 or whatever. That would be your, like, A+ setup, easy to go to. But they don't happen too often, and sometimes you can use it just to support the context of your trades and give you an idea about what's happening with momentum. Price is doing this, momentum is doing this. Might be time, if you're long from down here, to shave some off. And that's all I try and do, right? is I try and just like time the general ebbs and flows of the market. I'm not trying to catch the fucking lows. I'm just not. I'm not trying to sell at the Pico highs. I'm just trying to catch the meat of the moves and look at where momentum is waning when I'm on the long side. Or when I'm on the short side, right? So, you know, way back down here, I was desperately looking for some divergences to kind of take a position in here to the long side, and there was just nothing. It was just shite. So yeah, that was quite a good educational section, I think. Pretty mad though, isn't it, in terms of how far we've come? But anyway, thoughts on Dime? We can come back to Dime, mate. Let me just sort of go through my usual spiel. I think ETH, again, I think the market is due just a little bit of a correction, but that could just be like the bear and me talking, whatever, you know, people are gonna fucking lose their shit anyway. You know, a little pullback to here wouldn't be too bad and give you that kind of continuation of market structure. Simple triggers in terms of long reclaim, great. You know, nothing particularly complicated. The classic meme of if I look at this price action, right, one of my favorite short setups is parabola and then lower high, and that is how I shorted basically WIF. That's how I shorted Bitcoin. That's how I shorted like plenty of tops. Not that I'm saying this is a top, I'm just saying that, you know, I expected a little pullback, maybe down to like here or wherever it was that I marked up on the higher time frame. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like here. And then hopefully we just continue that move to the upside, take the highs, and fuck off to Valhalla, right? So, two main points of Bitcoin and ETH. Last one is Sol. I actually think we covered Sol last week in terms of the lows and in terms of this. Like, again, if you want to be aggressive, run the highs. Yeah, you got all my notes here, all my little squiggles. You know, want to be aggressive, run the highs. If not, just take profit under here, basically, or stop loss for part of the position under there. Just to cash some in, right? If it comes back under, then fuck it. Take some to the bank. But again, I think you've got real good, if we get pullbacks across the board, I think we've got real good trades in terms of like literally that, like simple level to level plays, like especially for these like higher cap, you know, liquid altcoins like Sol and ETH. We've covered PEPE. I assume that because you watched my stream, you all bought the same levels as I did, and you're all wondering what colour your Lamborghini's going to be. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that. Obviously, everything I say in the stream is not financial advice. Don't report me or anything. Yeah, like WIF, just a high time frame resistance. Like I struggle to take a position on this at all. Like, do I want to short WIF here? Yeah, maybe. But there's really actually one of the cleaner divergences on a 4 hour. 4 hour divergence into resistance. 4. To be fair, I probably should have shorted this instead of PEPE, but there we go. We're currently in a reasonable amount of profit on PEPE. Market short WIF. I'm not saying market short WIF. I'm just saying it's actually quite a nice divergence in terms of the 4 hour. You know, had a similar one across here, but this is much weaker. Like, because to your point earlier, Fervor, of it's not at the extreme, right? It's not up here, and this, look at the angle on that compared to the angle on this one up here, like very different. Yeah. Look at Hee. This is gonna be some utter dog shit, isn't it? Huh. Nice. I love all these new memes. They just kind of appear out of fucking nowhere and just run it up turbo. What we got? Trumpo. Oh, dead. Good old daddy. That's a shit coin. So much shit, man. So much shit. Anyway, on-chain degeneracy aside. What about private memes like Foxy or Bendog? To be honest, I haven't really... like in terms of relative strength, it's just not as attractive. I bet like the volume on this is like fucking dog shit. Might be worth adding some of these to spaghetti, to be honest, because like this does look like it wants to pop, to be blunt. Like, you know, like real simple shit. Like literally looking for like that, basically. How would I look for an entry on with short now? So, well, let's just cover this off. So we'll go with Foxy. So like, I'd be waiting for this kind of thing to play out, right? Obviously someone's dumping straight in. But I wouldn't, you know, I don't want to be trying to catch this. I'm never the guy trying to catch a candle, right? I want it to stop. I want to see some form of consolidation, or I want to see some form of strength. And I might get the entry wrong 2, 3, 4 times, who knows? Like, I'll take a few scratches, like on what I think is the like reversal point, and then it goes like that, takes me out, fine. I'll take that, do that a couple more times maybe. But then usually when I catch it and it is the run, it's a 5, 6, 10, 15% move as I've had over the last couple of days. Like, it pays for all of those, you know, many times over. But yeah. What was the other one? Bendog. I mean, pretty similar in terms of, like, just... like, there's your invalidation, isn't it? It's meme triangle. Meme triangle. But just wait for a tiny bit of strength. Just jump in. If you want to take the long side. But obviously with an invalidation, not a balls deep long. Like, the higher things go, like, the less risk I can take, right? Okay. Market short whiff. So let's talk about it structurally, because I know what I've said is there's a nice 4-hour div, and there is. The problem that you got now is that your entry is basically so far away from your invalidation, right? So when it was up here, when it was at the top of that candle close, you've actually got basically the similar setup that we talked about in PEPE. I'm going to just go to a more liquid version of it because I fucking hate looking at liquid charts. I've trained my brain to be sick. When it's a liquid, basically. So like this, yeah, it's not so bad in terms of like your high time frame, you know, 4-hour div and all that kind of stuff. But really, like, you wanted the entry to be up here, and the reason that I say that is you've got your 4-hour divergence across the highs. You've got your high time frame level wherever it was like literally here, wasn't it? Let's do that. So we had like literally the rejection from the level, but like low time frame, and this is where I think combining high time frame and low time frame is like massively advantageous. You know, you've basically just got a range. Like, this whole thing is just a range, and like that is, if you squint a bit, it's mid range, yeah. So what we'll do that is one of these. So ish mid range, but you've basically got a range. And for me, like this breakout here, if you're fast enough to get in that, great, but you probably wouldn't have noticed the divergence. If you notice the divergence at the 4-hour close, you've got a kind of condition that says, right,
I'm Peter Frankopan, and in our series Legacy, we look at the lives of
change this shit.
people.
Bosh. I'm gonna go for that playlist again because that was a fucking banging playlist. Baby, don't hurt me. Yeah, so like I would want to short around up here, like that would be my entry, yeah, or in here, not here. Like this is too far gone now. And the reason I say that is it just, you know, we've had a pretty decent sell-off in terms of this. Like, your invalidation is now so bad, you're not really front-running anything. Like, if you play it to range lows, like, it just, you're playing it to here, like a 1 hour trade, and, you know, the market is strong, or it has been strong, and you are playing a counter-trend move. So yeah, you want to be playing it like at the extremes, like either as part of this sell candle, or as part of this one. Like there's no way, and I wouldn't even be playing it like this with a stop up here, right? I'd be playing it like this with probably a stop close to there. That's how I play low time frames a lot. Am I still bullish on MYRO? Yeah, I mean it's not been as good as other coins, but it's pretty much second only to what is it? POPCAT. In terms of beta, right? But I think last time I really charted it was when XO was on. I wonder if I've still got that doodle. One of my 3, and it's not even on there. But yeah, I mean, like, it's better than a lot of the other memes in terms of, like, it's actually reclaimed like a pivotal level, as opposed to just get obliterated or be facing into one right at this moment in time. And again, the continuation play on MYRO looks pretty much similar to all the others, right? Just something like that. Like, pull it back, give me that, and then off we go. Buying a playlist? Yeah, cheers, mate. Oh, that's a good question, Rain Man. Is there a point where you'd give up on a trade and just cut it because it's lagging? Or do you stick to your invalidation as whatever? So I cut trades very, very often because I'm long shit beta. So my whole, if I had to describe my trading style, it's momentum, right? I want to trade momentum. I do not want my capital sat in dog shit that doesn't move. Yeah, that is probably the best way to describe it. And the way that I try and manage that all the time is through spaghetti, which tells me what's moving the most, right? Oh, fucking Lunar Pump, here we go. That's the end of this rotation. Then we've moved to the utter dog shit. Great. I assume someone with like 1 million followers has just pushed the Lunar hashtag out. It usually signals the end of a rotation, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just peeing. Maybe I'm just reading all the 4-hour divs, and the fact that we're pumping Lunar is a bit more of a pullback signal than I should, but the market will tell me quite soon. So yeah, I will have invalidation either mentally or physically as a stop, or several stops, whenever I put on a position, just because, like, if I get logged out of exchange, if I have to go AFK or whatever, like, you know, I need to live life. And shit happens, right? Your internet could go down, as it did to me the other day. Like, yeah, stuff happens. But, yeah, if I'm actively trading on the day, like, I will close positions to chase whatever's moving. But I do also do the odd position like low caps in particular, so stuff like Kai as an example, you know, low cap, it's better before, but yeah, I've got a spot bag of Kai, I'm not fucking touching it, it just is what it is, you know, it's, you know, downtrending for a long time, starting to go up, like my spot bags are completely separate to my trading account in terms of like my mental segregation of them. Like the PEPE trade, I got really bored with it, I'm not gonna lie, and I kind of wanted to close it because it was low beta, but I'm glad I talked myself out of it because it's literally like one of the only, and the reason I talked myself out of it was because it's one of my only spot bags, like, or not only, but my own like big meme spot bags in terms of, you know, like whatever PEPE is now, like $1 billion kind of market cap, like big liquid meme coin, shall I say? That's probably the best way of putting it. I almost want to say like blue chip meme coin, but it feels like a fucking oxymoron, that, right? Like a blue chip meme coin, does that exist? I don't know. Whatever. But hopefully you get my thought process that, like, because this wasn't pumping, I was a bit like on edge, but because it was a high time frame trade thesis and my trade thesis hadn't actually failed yet, I kept it open. It's just YouTube making this playlist. I'll bosh it over to you. So yeah, what else do we want to go over? Zig. So Zig's been one of my bags that I've had for a little while, and it's actually one that, this is a spot bag, and it's just held its range, right? It literally held this range even through the whole of fucking the death of the market, and actually was one of the first coins to pump. And I was looking at this earlier. I'm going to tweet this out a bit, but like, I was searching for my OM bags this morning because I invested in OM way back when, and I was like, this kind of pattern of like first consolidation, you know, bosh, markup, final markup. I just couldn't help but notice like similarities, and that's not, you know, that's not go by the range highs of it necessarily. Although it does look pretty reasonable for a breakout trade. And maybe there's a little bit more consolidation left to do in terms of like this. But, you know, any trades, in my opinion, have an invalidation like there or there. Do you have a pair trade? That's a really good question. I tried to pair trade for a while, but honest to God, I fucking suck dick at it. The thing with pair trading, well, I didn't, right? I'll tell you what happened. Every time I pair traded, right, my P&L would look like this. My P&L would look like this, and then it would look like that. Every fucking time. Like, without fail almost. Because you basically get the momentum on that pair trade for a good time, and it does alright. And then, in my experience, it just literally fucking Uno reversed overnight. And it was just like, bosh, I'm just going to revert all that. And that was literally it. And maybe it's just because it's too complicated for my tiny little brain to handle, but I just don't like pair trading. It's just like, I guess in my head, and I get that it's essentially an index of those two. I've got a whole pairs trading suite of indicators, by the way, that I built for the Paragon. I built for basically a couple of guys who were in it who were pair trading like, you know, day to day. And yeah, in my simple view, you're trying to get two assets right instead of just one. And actually, realistically, you're never trying to do that anyway. You're trying to get two assets right, which is Bitcoin and the alt you're trading, because if Bitcoin does this, what's your alt going to do? Oh yeah, that. So now I'm going from Bitcoin, my alt, to another alt. So I'm trying to get three assets right. Fuck me, I can't even get two right. You know, I can't even get one right, let alone two, let alone three. Like, it just, yeah. But I get the premise of it, and there's some people that are great at it. It's just too complicated. And obviously I say that just humbly. It's not too complicated. I just haven't really dedicated the time and effort to trying to master it. You wanted to look at DIM, didn't you? Again, it's just fucking garbanza. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do I want to long this over basically anything else in the market? I don't know, maybe there's a big booty pattern forming in terms of like, you know, bosh, but it's just pretty shit. Don't know what else I can say, mate. Don't know if you want to long it, I don't know if you bag held it from the highs. Looks fucking dog shit to me. Can we go over Jup? Yeah, I'll do a couple more of these and then I'm gonzo. Like, Jup looks better. See what I mean? Like, yeah, it's sold off, it's got a bit fucked, but it's had a low time frame range. Fucking massive. Love that wick. Lovely. on Binance as well. Perfect. But yeah, we've reclaimed this, and this is like, if you want to like level to level it, like this is basically where you bid. Yep, anywhere around there, and validation basically, yeah. Pretty decent high time frame. Especially if you've got like one of the things in terms of confluence is Sol BTC. Yeah, Sol BTC looks pretty strong in terms of potential next leg. So, you know, quite a few decent confluent factors to say that it's a decent position. Spectre? What the fuck is Spectre, bro? Is this a shit coin? This song was written for insert your least favorite crypto trader here. Yeah, this Spectre AI. I mean, the whole premise of like, I don't know anything about it fundamentally, right? But I'm assuming, given it's AI, you know, you're basically waiting for like an AI run. And I've talked about my theory on AI runs quite a few times. It's that I don't think it's ever going to be as good as it was in the first run, right? I think it's the whole narrative's like pretty cooked. I think, yeah, there might be some decent ones to run. I think that they'll generally run on a different premise of the AI narrative. So you'll have to go over a couple of old streams, but I put some money on a low cap. If I take it off, I will just make sure that I'm not like shitting you an utter shitter. Which it's not it, surely. Yeah, 13k daily volume. I'll go to fucking prison for shilling you that. So no. But yeah, there's like an AI marketplace that I put some money in, but you know, not huge amounts. But yeah, I think stuff like that, which will be like an iterative, like a new shiny thing that the market hasn't really experienced yet. I think something like that will do really well. But, you know, I don't know what Spectre AI does. If you've got a fundamental reason to be bullish, great. Keep it. But, like, it's just not really doing much. Sat in this range. Apologies, obviously, hiccups. You know, clear this 180 level and it'll probably go, but at the moment it's just ranging and chopping. And I want my money in things that's moving, right? Unless I've got a really good reason to be long this. So sorry, I don't feel like I've helped you with that one, Francesco. Say, I haven't actually looked at Say for ages. Again, looks like dog shit. Like, I want to long strong coins, so bear that in mind whenever I say this kind of stuff, right? Like, again, this is fucking messy. Like, I feel like I'm just drawing like a metric ton of lines on this. I'm still going to come to the same conclusion. Which is, there are better assets to trade, I think. Yeah, it's just sat in a little range. Do you want to play a breakout? Maybe. But it's not particularly strong. It's probably in there somewhere. Yeah, it's not bad in terms of like invalidation. Like, you know, pull back, high or low, pretty good level to pivot off, right? Like, pretty clean in terms of price action. Like, it's just not got that strength. I don't use fibs, mate. Sorry. I'm not a fib kind of guy. I get why people use fibs, is to basically make up arbitrary targets for things. I mean, it's all arbitrary, right? TA is just astrology for man. Apologies to any women or days listening, but yeah. There's some big unlocks coming once or so, waiting for that exit pump before VCs begin dumping. Yeah. short into it, blow it up, and then dump tons in player price. Standard unlock playbook. Yeah, everyone has a different game, exactly. Like, fun fact, fibs came from rabbits breeding. Really? That's a random fact, Mr. Smith, but I like it. It's the kind of thing that, you know, pops up in pub trivia. Do you have any specific advice or recommended resources for trading meme coins, e.g. in the 10 mil to 300 mil range? Do you mean, like, just aping on-chain shit? Not trading as in, if you want to trade it on perps, I've got like a fuck ton of education in the Paragon group, so yes, I will shill my own group, because if that's what you want to do, frankly, I've recorded fucking hours and hours and hours of videos to cover that. But if you want to, you know, snipe new on-chain launches, I don't really do that. I mean, I do, but I don't teach it, because the honest truth is it's a massive fucking gamble unless you've got insider information. And if you've got, you know that X group of people are going to launch Y coin, then you can just ape a few fucking sol in it, and it's like, if it turns into something great, if it goes to zero, fuck it. Like, not a problem. Like, that is the reality of most of the meme coin market. Like, it's just, yeah. I don't understand how 25,000 coins can be launched every single day and any of them survive. A couple of them do, obviously. A couple of them really go, and usually the ones that I enter are ones that have got very high volume, very high block liquidity. I'm not gonna ape. I'm not gonna ape the next SHIB, to be blunt, because I just don't operate in that arena anymore. Part of it is don't need to. Like, it's very different when you're trading a smaller portfolio and you want those like 500x returns to kind of change your life and do whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love a 500x, right? Love it, I wouldn't say no. But I'm playing a kind of very different game now than I was 7 years ago when I started. But I've got a friend who does the soul shitters constantly. He only ever tells me about the winners, obviously. I turned 5 sol into 100. Oh, cool. Well, how many times before that did you turn 5 sol into nothing? Never really hear that stat banded around. But Leonardo de Bonacci. Yeah, Bitcoin looking pretty decent. Like I said, the start of the stream, it just looks like it wants the next leg up. I wouldn't be surprised if we get that very imminently, because we've already had a few tests of the breakout. Feels very uncomfortable being in a PEPE short that is up like 1% at the moment, because I might go in the highs. Thoughts on potential pullback to the weekly CME at 58k? I mean, anything can happen, right? I mean, I personally don't think that we go back to 58k like anytime soon. And if we do, that's fucking super bearish, right? Like, there's no one can tell me that that's gonna look good. Like, in my opinion, we do not hold the range of 60k. Like, my short from the top is not getting closed until like 15k. I'm joking. My original target was like 40. But it was down here, wasn't it? It was like 44, I think. But yeah, there's no way people can be like, oh yeah, it doing this and then basically losing the range again is super bullish. Do you get what I mean? Because if you look at it from a simple like value area argument, like you've basically got all of the volume up here. Yeah, that's where everything's being transacted. So this is supposedly value. Yeah. Breaking down from this range, which happens to coincide massively with all these points, means that the market has completely disagreed with this value and has rejected it. So it's like auction market theory, which is what Magus teaches, and Magus uses a lot in his trading. It's not so much me, as you can probably tell. But yeah, I was looking at it from a pure price action perspective. You can basically tell that as soon as we breach out of these volume nodes, like, we start accelerating typically. What's the histogram on the right hand side, Charlie? So this is VRVP, so visible range volume profile. So what it does is, let's say, right, just for argument's sake, I have $1 traded at 80k. So it will proportion out the $1 as all of this. Like, say this is like $100 total, so that'll be 1%. Yeah. Let's say I have $10 here, so that'll be 10%, and so on and so forth. Like, it will just plot the volume here at the price that it was transacted at on the right. So you can see here that this is the peak of all the volume, and this is like, I think it's 70% up and down. So anything above here and below here is considered to be kind of outside of value. Does that make sense? And typically, what a lot of volume traders will say is, don't trade around this, because this is the point of control. This is where you're going to get the most like indecision in terms of price action. And what you want to be looking for is breaks of the value areas. So when we start getting prints outside that are, really, really weak, longing the top and getting nowhere and being completely absorbed, and you've got the confluence of this, like, you can like short into that basically. Like, I'm not an order flow trader, so please don't take that as gospel, but that's pretty much the premise of it. And it works on low time frame as well. So if you sort of change it, it's a bit shit in trending conditions, to be honest. It works better in ranging, obviously, but yeah, it's a bit of a shit example. Just zoom in a bit. So yeah, a lot of volume. Or not a lot of volume, sorry. Hardly any volume transacted at the highs. You can see that that's a reasonably like a liquid wick. Price went up, not much was traded there, went back down, got slammed down. Like, this is the point of control. Basically here to here is like this range, and then if you start breaking out, if you were short, that's probably where you have to panic. But if you come back in, that's where you can, in theory, open a fresh short type thing. My system lately set a defined risk, complete and utter failure / reward unrealized. What do you mean, mate? I'll answer your question, and then Jamie, memes and everything can go ridiculously high, right? Like, I'm not one of these predictors on crypto Twitter that's going to be like, oh, this is going to a bajillion-dollar market cap. Like, fuck no, I don't know. Why do I know? Well, I'm not arrogant enough to think that I can predict the future like that. I can just say I'm bullish, and like, I think the prices are going to go higher or lower, and often what I'll use is charts to back that up, right? I don't even know what PEPE would be at 40 billion. So it's a 4x from here. Yeah, why couldn't it? It's probably been like, what, 2 billion already? No, sorry, not 2 billion, I was going to say 10 billion, like 2x, but no, it hasn't. So, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's particularly unreasonable, but you basically are saying that the next leg of the bull market is either here, or we're going to get it, right? Pretty imminently. So, things can get fucking retarded, right? Dentacoin went like to, I don't know, like 7 billion market cap or something. Blockchain for dentists. I will never forget that. It was so retarded. Uh, how many low time frame trades do you take on a normal trading day? It depends on the day, is the honest answer. Some days I'll take none and I'll sit and play computer games like an absolute virgin loser. And other times, like today, yesterday, I'll take, well, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 30. It depends how, the honest answer is it depends how wrong I am. So, you know, if, like this morning, longing PEPE, wherever it was, like down here, I woke up, my whole trading day consisted of, I think it was like 3 trades. So I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, which was here. So I basically looked at this, and I was like, okay. Like, I didn't catch this short up here, which is basically the same setup. I keep saying basically, don't I? Basically, fuck me, I just did it again. I'm a retard, Jesus Christ. It's the same setup that we just looked at, yeah? We've got that low time frame, push up, almost sweep the highs, come back in, sell off, retest, go. I don't know if I longed here, I can't quite remember because it's been a long day. But I longed in here and I got stopped, right? I got chunked out of this, that was fine. But as I got stopped, I flipped short because it was the Mt. Gox news dropping. And I thought everyone is going to be a fucking retard about this and insta sell all their coins, which they did. I closed down here, like that is where I closed because it was such a strong reaction. And then I just waited for the next trade and I basically longed in here. So I did 1, 2, 3, and then short from up here, 4. So four trades today on PEPE. So it was 1 loss, 1 win, 1 win, and 1 to be decided. Currently in profit because I added a bit, but it's looking pretty fucking bullish in terms of like the strength. Like Jeremy's new open crypto trader position. Wish me luck. Yeah, I mean, fucking mental, isn't it? Is Spaghetti View called Spaghetti? Nah, mate. You just go here, compare. Type in what you want to compare and chuck it in. That is literally it. That is literally the source. And you can have that. That's the layout, standard one. We're on opposite end of the PEPE trade. It's time to take Charlie Shackles. Well, we're not, because I've got a spot PEPE position, as I was explaining earlier. So I win either way. So it goes up, I win. Goes down, I win. Classic paid group leader. I'll just flex whichever position makes money. But no, I mean, I took a reasonably well managed short. Where was it? I don't think it was here, was it? It was here. It was as I was loading up the stream, basically. So it was in here somewhere. Well, I basically added up here when this failed. So my average is... But I'm happy to, you know, be round tripped on this one. I suspect I will be. That's pretty much it. So yeah. I might just load up my spot and just start dumping it on the market just so I don't take a fucking L in front of everybody. I'm joking, I can give a fuck. Half of trading is losing, and being able to lose and not revenge trade and not, you know, need the money desperately and all that kind of stuff. Like, take losses in the fucking time. Evening, Jesse. Yeah, cheers after. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Losses are outliers, post the wins only. Yeah, I don't mind talking about losses. It's fucking stupid to talk about losses on social media though, generally. It's just, no one likes, you know, no one likes the tweets when you say, oh, I took a loss on this. No one engages. So it's fucking pointless admitting it. you might as well just be like every other cunt on there and just be like, oh look, this random obnoxious tweet that means nothing, and this clearly meant that. Or do positions of like $500 and tweet those going up 20%. Cannot have the chat card sentence, mate. Sorry, it's 1 Bitcoin. I have them for 1 Bitcoin. That's what I pay for them. Not even a joke. What's PEPE doing? Actually, a nice little also MYRO retest. Might tweet that out actually. So yeah, this is what I mean in terms of like all-time high, fail, proper breakout on high volume, come back, retest it, chop around for a bit, and then next leg. That's... Oh, I'm a bit annoyed I missed that, to be honest. Que sera. Can't keep up with it. Can't keep up with it. I'm too fucking old now, boys. Gotta retire. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I think if you're not in position, we went over a couple of plans to get in position on BTC, which I've deleted, but yeah, you go back and have a look. It's the same thought process, really. I think there's plenty of opportunity on altcoins, just in terms of low time frame rotational plays. What else? I'm kind of hoping that we see a rotation into some things like Ondo, but so far not delighted with it. Zig, I'm hoping breaks out of the range pretty imminently. Looks like it's attempting to start. Whiff is probably one of the only things that I would look to short, but a little bit late. Yeah, I think we covered quite a lot of other coins as well. Oh, an iron pumping. Let's go. Yeah, it's actually nice to see some risk on in the markets, to be fair. What coins do you have the highest confidence of having forex return opportunities for the rest of the cycle? I don't like questions like that because how do I put it? So I went through one of my old wallets today, and I found $5.5 million of SHIB that I sold for about, I don't know, $2 or something. And this is on top of the $1 billion that I sold for a lot more than $2. But you know, still not quite $1 billion. And I was going through it and reflecting on some of the choices that I made back then. And you know, it's really easy to sit there and beat myself up and be like, oh my god, you should have held SHIB, and oh my god, it would have been worth so much, blah 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 blah. But I also had bags of X, bags of Y, bags of Z, and in all of those bags, almost every single fucking one of them, like honestly, like 98% of them went fucking zero. So you are either like the big motherfucking bag holder, yeah, and you held it all and got lucky with SHIB, or you cashed out decent profits and you missed out on one of them running like a billion X. Which, I don't know, I think when I look back and I think about that in terms of relative performance and, you know, how it translates to the profits I did take in 2020, 2021, which were, yeah, considerable. I think that's the way I'd rather be than have one out of like 50 bags, maybe even more, that were in that wallet at one point, run and clear big money. But that's my attitude in terms of playing the game, and that won't suit everybody, right? Some people, there's a guy in there who did like 15k to 5 million or something on what was it? Brett, that was it. You know, fair play. Don't think that'd be me anymore. That's right, guys. Yeah, and thank you all for being here. Like, this is why I do it, right? It's like, you know, I enjoy this. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy learning. I enjoy sharing my views. I enjoy having people listening. Like, it's nice. You know, it's nice you to be here. It's nice you to like the content and stuff. You know, it means a lot to me because otherwise, what's the fucking point in doing it if there's nobody appreciating it and saying, yeah, do you know what? This is helpful. This is good. You know. If none of you are here, I can tell you this much, I wouldn't fucking do it. Do I miss the degen side of me? Yeah. It's why I still do it sometimes, right? It's why I still, you know, I still go on Pump Up Fun, I still talk about low caps, like, you know, I talked about, what was it, like Gol, I basically bought some Gol at the fucking top. And just, like, literally I bought some, and then within like 2 days it was down like 80%, like, cheers bought. That's great. You know, shit happens. What is it? Like, general on-chain low caps are super high risk, and I have mixed luck with them, to be honest with you. Like, I'm probably net up on Sol on my Pump Fun. Well, I am net up on Sol on my not Pump Fun. What is it? Can't even fucking tell you what it's called. My Photon, like, sniper count, and that's because of like 2 good snipes, right? That's it. Like, it's not because I'm some sort of trader genius. It's because I liked the name of a meme and ate more Sol than I should have done. And it happened to work out, right? Like, instant 10x, like, bang, okay. So, yeah, that's how I kind of deal with the degenerate side, but, like, the reality is, it's, trying to think of a way to say it without sounding like a cunt, but, like, piss-assing around in low liquidity environments with, like, a relative, I guess, to myself, like, small chunk of change is not as rewarding as just sitting on an exchange and trading that. You know, I can be hours and hours and hours on Pump.Fun, or I could just log on to an exchange, press 2 buttons and make the same amount. Like, not always, obviously. I make it sound like I just fucking print money. I'm not trying to make it sound like that, but yeah. Hopefully you get the point. Missed the PSC 2021 pre-sale buzz. Max slippage to reach the BNB cap. Yeah, that was fucking mental. Like, all the fucking BNB pre-sale shit and just anything that launched on BNB just like instantly went 20x, like bosh. And all the degens were there. It was just like Sol season all over again, right? It's fucking great. But okay, so all those just in the memories now. But it is nice to get like massive risk on seasons, isn't it? In terms of like low caps, because a lot of people, you know, can and do make life-changing money. Off memes and stuff. You learn a lot. Cool, cheers Aaron, thanks for taking the time to be here. I will be here at the same time next week, ladies and gentlemen. It's been my pleasure. I will love you and leave you with the plans that we made. Hopefully you have a wonderful week trading, and I'll see you next week.